Most expensive divorce in NBA history. Some of the
Michael
latest
Jordan.
news. The Suns are buying out Bradley Beal's contract. He's owed
Oh,
161
what name it
million.
be? I was like,
Whew.
what?
I was like, hold on.
Okay. 161 million over 3 years. He played 53 games in Phoenix. Probably headed to the Clippers. A lot
Put the
of
money in the
chatter.
bag.
Hang on. We'll
Got
start
him.
with this and you guys can expand. Where does this rank among the worst contracts in NBA history?
Oh, I think every contract was a great contract as far as I'm concerned. I think every dollar is a great dollar. That's
It
like,
just didn't work out. But listen,
good. Get your money, because we got guys having to take less money, right, to play well.
I
So
feel like Perk has like a real legit
I know.
answer
Go
for
ahead,
this.
Perk. Go ahead, Perk.
go ahead, Perk. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not down on Bradley Beal, right? He came. It's not like to me. It's not like the Suns when he got to Phoenix. They gave him this contract, right? He earned that contract while he was with the Wizards, while he was averaging 30. And yes, it was on a bad team, but Bradley Beal was still one of those dudes. And then all of a sudden, you get to Phoenix, and it just don't work out, right? Whether it's him and KD and Devin Booker not being able to match and see eye to eye. They tried him at the point guard position. Bradley Beal is a two guard that wants to get buckets, right? And he wasn't going to be in a role that was going to put him above Devin Booker. I
Or Kevin
believe,
Durant.
or Kevin Durant, right? So I believe the buyout is right. I think that's the right move because he has a no trade clause. And I think that whether he ends with the Clippers, end up with the Clippers, or I think he should really consider going to Milwaukee, right? And if he does, then we're going to see the Bradley Beal that we've seen of old. Like we all know, think about this for a second. We all know, like, it is so hard as a player when you're mentally not there. And I know people be like, oh, it's a fucking business. Do your job. Show up to work and compete. But if your headspace is not in the right space, you're not going to play at your max level. Like, we're seeing so many things. I hate to get off topic, but we're seeing so, it's not off topic, but we're seeing so many things. Like, what's the guy, Marcus Williams? That's his name. That Mark Williams, who keep getting traded from Charlotte and they keep
Mark
getting
Williams.
sent back. Mark Williams, right? Like, what the hell is going on with Mark Williams? I bring up his name because now this is twice that Charlotte has tried to trade this man, and then you bring him back to the organization, and and he's supposed to be like, oh yeah, they want me here. I'm all in. Like, how the fuck is he supposed to hoop with a team that they tried to trade you twice,
Oh,
bro?
they'll try and trade. I'll do it again. No, but to
They
your
tried to
point, no,
pull the
no,
okey doke on
no,
people.
but to your point though, when it comes to Bradley Beal, I joke, but I say it's like every player earned his dollar. He got that contract. We were like, what the Wizards are doing, but also we were like, Bradley Beal, what are you doing? You are at the prime of your career, bro. Get out while you can. He decided to take the money. They decided to give him. He wanted that security, so he sacrifice being on a good team for that level of security and that contract. So now when you trade him and he's now older, he's had a lot of miles on that body and he's not performing at that level. Now it's like, but wait, this contract, baseball signs players to 10-year contracts knowing they'll only be good those first seven. They know it. They signed every player to 10, 12-year contracts, 50, knowing that we're paying for those first seven. And then those last couple, we're going to figure it out. But you still give them a 10-year contract. So I'm not like, when it comes to bad contracts, like we forget, man, we saw things that happened after that big salary cap boost. When that salary cap went up and everybody was getting all those dollars, like let's not forget about that summer. So respectfully, I Bradley Beal, I'm glad he's getting his money. I'm glad he can go to some place that, because he wasn't like, you think of Kevin Love being a big three. You think about the big three with
Bron.
no, with Braun. You think about the big three in Boston. When you start looking at like collectively all the big threes, you can say Golden State, but Draymond, they had an all-star big that helped facilitate, and they had facilitators around all of those scores. Phoenix didn't even have a point guard. Phoenix didn't
and
have a
Rich,
point guard their first year. So Bradley Beal was never put into a position of here's somebody that can helm the ball. Okay, hey Bradley, here's a couple shots. Okay, KD, let me get you going. Okay, Devin, let me drop it off. That's what Draymond does. That's what Andre Iguodala used to do. That's what Livingston used to do. Those guys were scoring, getting buckets, but they were facilitating, moving the ball, making sure the offense went. Phoenix didn't have a point guard their first year. And then the second year, they bring in a point guard, but they got a brand new coach, and it's just like the energy just seems off on the squad. There's no vibe. I say all that to say is that Bradley Beal was never put into a position to succeed. And then the criticism, then the BS comes around. Now your headspace is messed up. But at the end of the day, I'm also going to say Bradley Beal didn't really help himself, right? He
but
he he didn't really help himself like he and not from his own thing. But if you only play 50 games a year, like that's tough on your team. And
Richard,
it's
to add some
Well,
facts real quick to what you're saying, Bradley Beal, right? Like his career high in scoring was in 2020 and 2021, where he averaged 31 points. And when you talk about that facilitator, you know who his teammate was at that time, at that year, under Scott Brooks, who averaged a triple double? It was Russ. Like, so when you talk about what he needs to get him going with Russell Westbrook in 60 games, Bradley Beal in 2020 and 2021, he averaged 31, a career high. So, yes, he's a guy that needs to have a facilitator to get him buckets the way that he plays.
So
He's coming off the inbound.
don't compare his 31 or his 31 points a game and the $200 million contract to the environment that he's in right now. Kevin Love, same way. The way that Kevin Love could do what he was doing in Minnesota, this wasn't the same environment. Same that Chris Bosh, what he was doing in Toronto, leading teams to the postseason. And then go down to Miami, he's got to sacrifice. He's got all of these shooters and all of these dudes. He's every situation changes into something different depending on the environment that you're in. And like Bradley Beal was not put in a position to succeed.
who did well in Phoenix? And this is the whole point, right? We're all saying the same thing. I don't know anybody on that team where I go, hey, like I think I'm seeing the best out of that player. That when there's dysfunction, right, from the top to the bottom, none of the players are going to be successful. So yes, it sucks that Bradley Beal was the short end of the stick, right? But that's what happens. Now, do I think that Bradley Beal's going to go to the Clippers and make the Clippers this all-time team? Not really. Do I think he'll be
All
better
Bucks,
than last year? Yeah,
Clippers or
probably.
Bucks.
Huh?
Clippers or Bucks.
Yeah, I mean Clippers or Bucks. But like, what is that? I mean, the Bucks. What are they? Oh, you have Bradley Beal. Okay, now you're fifth, sixth, seventh. I don't know about that.
Shannon, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. You add Bradley Beal to the Milwaukee Bucks with what they have right now. They're top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference.